has to which means she has to.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Don, would you lead us in our invocation tonight?
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the beautiful weather you've given us. Lord, we ask as we go about your business tonight that you'll watch over us, help us to make decisions that are beneficial for our constituents. And God, we just thank you for everything you've given us. And we ask that you bless what we do. Lord, be with us as we travel home. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Samantha, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll go ahead and convene our meeting. We'll start with roll call. Misty Cottle.
here.
Jeff Upton.
Yeah.
Jan Throgmorton.
Yes.
Marty Lindaberry.
Here.
John Collins.
Here.
Dina McKnight.
Here.
Don Rollins.
Here.
Our city attorney and city clerk are both present. The first item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes that we need to make to that? We have a motion.
I'll make it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, that motion carries. Next is the approval of our meeting minutes from August 13th. Are there any corrections to those or motions?
I'll make a motion.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Next is our public forum. Do we have anybody from the public who would like to address the council? How long do you think I ought to give this, Samantha?
I think it's good.
We'll go ahead and close the public forum and move into our business reports.
I might call on you later.
First up, Walter Harnish with the Planning Commission.
Evening.
Samantha?
So, pretty slow one, but on our last meeting, but it was kind of exciting. Somebody utilized the being in town center, downtown zone. They did a lot split alignment. And so now that they built a new house, so somebody gets to live next to their parents. They built a new house, and that could only happen with the new zone we just passed.
Nice. Awesome.
So yeah, and right now, as for our next meeting, which is next week, don't have anything on the agenda yet. They have till into business Thursday to get on there. So that's it for me. And we're moving forward. Hopefully, we'll get with Juliet Ritchie and start working on Title 15 here. And we've committed to an 18-month time frame on getting you guys a draft on that. So let's hope that works. Any questions?
No questions for Walter? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is our court report. Tracy.
Half my report now is a little bit late. My disbursements are down a little bit. The major thing that's going on right now is that I'm interviewing people. I currently have one part-time clerk, and I'm interviewing for another part-time clerk. But that's the most excitement I think I have going on right now. And starting on budget stuff.
Any questions for Tracy? Thanks, Tracy. Next is our library report. Shannon Marie Parks. Staying with it, Chief.
Okay, so I'm really excited to say that our infant story time has been going well, and our numbers have been staying up for our regular story time. So our total story time attendance has doubled since last August. So we're really excited about that. This month we have the Poet Laureate of Arkansas coming to talk and read from her new poetry book. And so we're really excited to have her come, and she's going to be set up over at the community center, so I invite you all to come. I did put the number of spots in our parking lot under the announcements. Beaver Watershed Alliance has put up a sign, so they've been working on it for a while to talk about the new parking lot, or I guess your old parking lot, and how it works for drainage and how it helps drainage on that street as well as in our parking area. And does anyone have any questions for me?
You already answered the one I was gonna answer.
How did West Fest go for you guys?
It was really good. We also made a connection with the Boy Scouts, and we were really happy working with the fire department at their booth, and so that was a lot of fun. So we hope to be back next year.
Anything else for Marie? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Police Department, Chief Halliburton.
Yeah. We had 321 calls for service. That's down from 415 from the previous year. We took 38 reports, wrote 24 citations versus 56 warnings, served 35 warrants, had 4 felony arrests and 4 misdemeanor arrests. We also started sending out our letters for the RVs that people are homesteading in to let them know that that is now a violation. And we prepared the draft, and we're going to be sending those out to people this week. Also, if I can take a moment to introduce you all to our newest police officer, Officer James Polk. He's a 14-year veteran, came to us from Crawford County Sheriff's Office. So just wanted you to be able to put a face and a name together.
Welcome.
That's all I have.
Any questions for the chief? Any questions for Officer Polk? We got him here. No?
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Polk, how are you liking it so far?
I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you.
Good. How long have you been here now?
1 or 2 months, 9 months, something like that.
Yeah. You're still liking it.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of the chief?
And he's still here.
Okay.
He was a big help during West Fest also.
Yes, Tracy?
I had dealings with a citizen that has met him today, and she said he was very friendly. She
Fantastic.
wasn't happy with the ticket, but she said he was very friendly, very professional, and she appreciated it.
Professionalism goes a long way. All right. Next, Public Works. Isaac.
I don't have just a whole lot. I'm gonna be brief. I think Nick's gonna give you all an update on Homestead. We got approval letter today that we can do sidewalk here on Main Street, so that is moving forward. Tim with Atlas will come and stake that in the next week or so, and we'll probably get started on that. I met with RDOT at Rock Creek Bridge first, because it's scheduled to go in late 25. We actually have some utilities that are now going to be in their proposed right of way that we'll have to move, which is our 10-inch main coming down here that serves the entire city. So that'll be a project we'll probably have to pull Nick in on to get some of that moved. The one at White River down here is not got funding yet, so she gave me 60% plans. They're not 100% done, but so they don't know where the funding is going to come from for that. But state aid paving, I talked to them. We're on their docket for their meeting in late November, 1st of December, so we should know if we get awarded that for 2026. That's for 2026. And the other big thing I got is Act 605 requires my water board to have training. That is you guys, not my committee. You are the water board. So Marty, Dina, Mayor, and Jan will all have to take that training via Zoom. I'm going to go through it this month. I'm going to take the class so I can assist if I need to, y'all. And of course, Anthony, if he accepts his position. So.
Looking for less and less.
So, but yeah, and I'll have to get some information from y'all, so I'll have to reach out and get y'all all registered. It'll be via Zoom, So it won't be awful. Well, I'll let you know next month if it's
Okay.
awful, because I'll take it. So, but I think that's all I got.
I don't know.
Any questions for Isaac?
John's wanting to know how come he doesn't have to take it.
You're exempt. Anybody over 10 years is exempt. You left and came back, so.
So why don't I? I'm not 10 years.
It's your age.
Hey, but does my old water license, would that do anything?
No.
It's too long to go.
Still have to do it.
So yeah, I'll look into you. I didn't know you had,
Thanks for being honest, Don.
yeah.
Well,
I didn't know. Was he off and then back on?
Yes, he was.
He's been a lot of things, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a time where you weren't on?
He didn't turn his paperwork in.
But he was
Well-
appointed
He was-
immediately after, so I don't think there was any time lapse.
What year were you mayor on?
2017.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, still go back and just double check. Make sure.
What you do right there?
Are there any other questions for Isaac?
Graduated from high school.
What
I've got-
about Homestead, is it connected?
Nope. Nick's coming to give you all that update here in a second.
Anything else for Isaac? So Isaac, while I was at Westfest, someone asked me about the highway department or the state closing the tunnel and redirecting traffic through West Fork from Mountainburg. Have you heard anything on that?
I have not.
Can we
No.
look into that and just,
Yeah.
'cause that would be kind of a major ordeal.
Yeah.
They can't get the big trucks through those switchbacks. They can't, there's no way they can do that.
Those big trucks came through those switchbacks for 100 years.
Yep.
Not off of Highway 74.
Right, no, they were saying coming from
Oh, coming
Mountainburg.
from Mountainburg.
Yeah.
Oh, they might can do that, but.
I'll reach
Well,
out.
they did, but McKnight's made a fortune turning them all back up.
I would like to point out, Don, that being said, there's 19,000 cars a day that go past our on and off ramps. I would say that poses several opportunities to the city of West Fork, if that is the case, that we need to prepare for.
And that may be why they're doing the improvements on 71.
That's, I wondered that
So,
when
I'll
somebody
reach out to Jason Huey and see.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about that, so it kind of took me by surprise when they
Yeah.
asked.
They need to put a couple more officers on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Isaac, while you're still up here, you talked about the overlay project, state-funded overlay project, and we still need to make a point to get to the school board and talk to
Yes.
them. Talk to them about, just in case we're a little bit late getting there, the gate that they put across Park Street. With that gate there, we can't get that overlaid.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a couple of exemptions that keep us from paving. Beloit, where it turns into Hidden Creek, there's no wheelchair ramp there, so that makes that, you can't pave that. So we're already looking at trying to do a wheelchair ramp there, which will probably end up tying into the new subdivision at Smith. They're gonna bring sidewalk halfway, we'll probably take it the rest of the way. So yeah, that, any type of gate, guardrail, anything like that makes the street where they can't pave it, so.
So Isaac and I or at least one of us is gonna try to get to a school board meeting just to discuss that with them, to see if perhaps they would be interested in moving that gate, for the time being, for a period of time.
Well, do we have any school board members or?
Well, I don't know, I just wanted to get that out there in case it takes Isaac or I a little while.
Start seeing why I was invited.
But I think the school would want Park Street, that overlay, so it's just something we do need to get over there and talk to
It
them
was,
about.
Park Street was of the $301,000, that was $100,000 of it, just to do that short section, so. And that included.
And it needs it.
That included Robinson and Smith, Beloit, Clark, all of that in that, down this way, plus Robinson where the new sidewalk's
Yeah.
at, so.
Yeah.
That was the most expensive one.
Yeah.
Could they just remove the gate but leave the posts in place? Because they just put that in there, but due to safety requirements.
I know. So that's why we need to go talk with school board and see what we can do to mitigate this, and at least until we get it paved. Now, the state says the road doesn't qualify if there's a gate across it, ever. So sometimes, I think you know this very well, you ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Take it off the-
Even the speed bumps up there, the speed bumps have to be removed before they'll pave it as
Okay.
well, so anything like that.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna talk to the school board and see if there's something we can do there. Just because that road is in, I don't know if anybody's driven it lately, but it's in bad shape. It needs not only repaved, but they're looking at doing some dirt work around that so it'll
Yeah.
drain better and we don't end up like this again, so.
I'm sure there's a compromise.
I bet there's a compromise. Okay,
Okay.
that's all I had. Thank you, Isaac.
Homestead update.
And Isaac, thank your guys. They helped tremendously with West Fest.
I'll do it.
It was well appreciated.
Long time no see, Nick.
I know. I'd come down and give y'all an update. So it's under construction. They're moving along really good. They've got, I'm estimating definitely more than 60%, maybe 2/3, almost 3/4 of the main sewer lines put in the 8-inch lines at the streets. I think they have one more main street to go up, and then they'll start tying over services, which it sounds like could happen as early as next month. So they're getting after it. I was talking to Isaac. They're doing a good job cleaning up now, better than they were. They're sweeping up the gravel and getting it back where it needs to be, where they cut the trench, and the roads where they're not working are looking in good shape. So everything seems to be going well right now. But y'all have any questions for me?
Has anybody driven that?
I did yesterday.
Yeah.
They're gonna need a lot of asphalt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was amazed at how quick, and
Yeah,
it's
they're
been a
getting-
week since I've been down there, but just watching them as I drive by, it's amazing how quick they're moving. I did wonder, did we take note of some of those curb damages that are existing? I just don't want us to get them.
They flew a drone through that entire thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to do a pre-construction video, so anything
Okay.
that was there, they don't have to fix.
Okay,
So
good.
if they damage it, it's on them.
Sure.
To replace it if it wasn't called to be taken out or replaced or anything.
Yeah, I just noticed that there was a couple of spots, and that crossed my mind. I don't want them paying anything that they didn't,
Yeah,
paying for anything they didn't break, so.
but no, we've been happy with them. They're getting after it, and
Have they started the connection point back to the main line? Is that,
they've got all, they started down there on y'all's 15 and laid back into the
Okay.
neighborhood, so that's all in, and yeah, like I said, thinking of the 4 main roads that run east-west, they're finishing the 3rd of the
Right,
4 roads,
yeah.
so they're
ready to go live with it as soon as they start connecting.
they'll start turning over, there's 80 of them to do, so that'll probably take some
That'll slow
time.
down
But
a lot.
But I think they're trying to get after it while the weather's still good too, because it's getting cold and rainy. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not worried about schedule right now. I'll say that much. I was gonna say they're way ahead, but they're not messing around, which is good.
and everyone is good with Christie's draft of a letter to send out to those remaining 4? Tom?
I didn't send it to Tom.
You didn't send it
I'll
to
have a
Tom?
copy of it, I'll let him read it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was good with it.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else for Nick? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So we still have 4 homeowners that we haven't received the easements into their yards yet to do that tie-in. And so Christie's got a letter drafted basically saying, hey, this thing's gonna turn over and your existing sewer is no longer gonna work.
You're gonna need a bucket.
Yeah, and if it gets to that point, it's gonna be your bank account that's paying to get tied on later, so. Anyway, I'm sure that they'll get it signed and we'll move forward. All right. Parks Director Harrison.
I'll be quick. We don't have a lot to report, but a month of just maintaining, doing some off-season field work. We overseeded our outfields with sand, getting preparation to do some overseeding later this month as well. Our flag football program has started. Teams are organized. They'll start playing games in a couple of weeks. The bathrooms at Carter are coming along with Isaac's help. We'll get dressed up around there a little bit more and get some concrete poured around them and within the next couple of weeks, I hope. And then the metal roofing that's been going on the pavilions is almost done. We got all the pavilions at Riverside, the score booths at Carter, and they're working on the concession stand now. So I think if all goes well, they'll probably be done this week or hopefully. Well, I guess it's not a huge deal. There's not a lot of activity down there right now, but I'm sure them guys are ready to get it wrapped up as well. So it's going to look really good and be something that's going to be there for a long time. We won't have to be repairing shingles and mowing over and picking them up and things like that anymore. I'm excited about that. So, and really, that's all I've got.
Any questions for Chad? No? Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
And a big thank you to him and TJ. The whole city stepped up,
Except for us.
except for the fire department.
Chief Myers.
We're busy. 73 calls per month, pretty run-of-the-mill. Hard to believe as dry as it is, but we did have some rain and storms that we're out late doing a lot of storm cleanup, trees across the road, things like that. So 10K breakfast went great. 427, I believe, is the number of people we served. A little over $3,000 made, which between donations we got from businesses and citizens, it cost us absolutely nothing. So we're very appreciative of that, and it helps kick off West Fest to make it as good as it is. So
Yeah.
without it, I don't know where they'd be.
I agree.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just getting ready for next month's gonna be kind of busy. We're having trunk or treat at the end of the month, but we have a school reached out for us to do another, what you'd really call it, a drunk driver accident, reproduction or whatever. So we're gonna try to put that together for them again toward the end of the month. So
Nice.
it's a really good thing. But other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions for the chief? No? Thank you, sir. Next, treasurer's report. Christie.
So our bank balances for the city have decreased by $122,000 this year. A lot of that is because of the land that we purchased early in the year. As you can see, our budgets overall are $97,000 to the good so far this year. And our sales tax is staying steady with what we collected last year. The water department, their bank balances have increased by $28,000. Water loss was up a little bit again this month, but I believe they have located a couple of leaks and got those fixed, so hopefully we'll see that go back down next month. We are still waiting on a sewer pump. Do we have any
Sewer meter?
sewer meter? Sorry.
Yes.
We know when it's coming yet?
It's supposed to be here this week and be bench tested, and that's last I've heard, so.
Yeah. They have been giving us very large adjustments on those, but we're still not where I'd like to see us for this year. But once we get that in, hopefully that'll take care of that. Other than that, I emailed everybody a copy of the water audit that's complete. The city one, he said he hoped to have done by the end of this month. I was just gonna wait and put them all on the agenda at the same time. But if you've got any questions on it, please reach out. We are upgrading our internet in this building, the city admin building, the library, and the community center. We're switching over to Windstream, doing fiber. So that's in the works. Hopefully by the end of the month, we'll have that done. We are still working with Fayetteville to determine the best way for both of us as far as homestead billing for homesteads. We are looking at a couple of years usage down there, average usage, to make sure that our flat fee for sewer will cover our expenses. And then talking to Fayetteville about the process of them collecting it for us. We already have a contract with Fayetteville that says that they will do that and charge a 5% fee. So we're in the works with that. Hopefully, I'd like to have that tied up by the end of the month too, because it looks like we're gonna be ready to tie people over soon. Along the same lines, at the next meeting, we should have the homestead contract, the contract with the HOA. I think the HOA is finally happy with all the numbers that we've got in there and put together, so they should be getting it signed shortly, and then once they get it signed, we'll bring it before you guys so we can get that finalized. That was just a legality, basically, that the bond attorney asked us to do with them in relation to borrowing the money to do that. It will basically, they have an account that the HOA is paying for their sewer system with right now. Some of that money will be used to pay off their bond. The city will be paying some of that with some of the money that we've borrowed. So that's just a contract stating all of that we've been working to get done. So hopefully by next month we'll have that for you. Also on next month's agenda, we will have an ordinance to correct a Scribner's error on the zoning ordinance that we did just recently. It's just a typo, but it's a typo that has some impact if we don't fix it. So we'll have that next month. I have sent out budget worksheets to all of the department heads, so we will have the first draft of that in a couple of weeks to start moving forward on. I do have to say one of them's already gotten stuff back to me. I won't mention names, but they were pretty proud of themselves that they were the first ones to have stuff back. So, the only other thing I think that I want to make sure that everybody's aware and ask you to please spread the word. The city has purchased 2 ping pong tables and some paddles and balls. Tom Maringer, that runs Shire Post, is going to start hosting 2 days a week at the community center on Monday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon from 3 to 5, hosting a time. He's trying to encourage school-age kids to come, anybody, adults to come, whoever, to do ping pong tournaments and that type of thing. So just get some more activity down there, and he's hoping to get some of the kids involved, have something to do for after-school stuff too. I think that's all I have.
Any questions for Christie? No? Okay, thank you. So we don't have any ordinances tonight, so there's no need for a procedural motion. We don't have any old business tonight, but we do have some new business. The new business is I would like to recommend Anthony Foster for the vacant council seat.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Anthony Foster, whether he likes it or not, is now voted in. So, sir, let's swear you in. If you would, repeat after me. When I say your name, please give me your name and not name. I, your name,
I, Anthony Foster,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of alderman
the duties of alderman
of the City of West Fork,
of the City of West Fork,
Arkansas,
Arkansas,
for which I am about to enter.
for which I'm about to enter.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Christie, I want you to sign that. I think everybody here knows Anthony for the most part, so I will skip a formal introduction.
Sounds good.
But he's a great guy. He's been in the city forever. He's very dialed in. He's on the school board, in case anybody missed that earlier. He's served on the Parks Committee. You've made a huge commitment to this city, and the city thanks you for it. And I'm very happy to have you on the council now.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay. Item E. Do we have any other business? No? I do.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Don't believe it.
So a couple of things that I want us to one, recognize, and two, discuss tonight. Is everyone aware that Walmart will now deliver groceries to West Fork? So in the city limits, I don't know, am I speaking out of turn?
No.
Okay.
Chad said, is it everywhere? And I said,
No, it's in the city limits. I think it's the entirety of the city limits, but you can go check, correct?
yes.
And so I bring this up because in the state of Arkansas, we are a point of delivery state. Everyone in this city that orders their groceries from Walmart, that tax comes to West Fork and not Fayetteville. Right? If we go to Walmart and purchase, the tax stays in Fayetteville. And I think that's something that we should highlight. I don't know if that's something we can put on our website. I certainly don't want to be disrespectful to Harps, but I know we shop at Harps, and my wife makes a grocery order every week. We used to go pick it up, but now, I mean, they bring it to the house and set it right there at the front door. It's fantastic. And the city of West Fork gets that sales tax. So, I don't know. What's the council think? Is that too much to put that on the website, or?
Nope.
You can put the Harps has pickup.
They have pickup and Walmart has delivery?
Harps does delivery, well, Instagram, or
Instacart
does delivery for Harps also. And they also do a lot of other places like Aldi's and a lot of restaurants and stuff, and they'll deliver to West Fork also. So there's a lot of other options for delivery down here now.
And I believe the way this works with Walmart, it's just like a Prime membership. You pay, I think it costs you $8 a month, and the delivery fee is free. Now you still tip them, right? But it's free delivery of your groceries, essentially. $8 a month free delivery to be a member. But
Well, maybe if you mention all of them, it wouldn't be so.
Pointed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just like ways you can keep your tax dollars here.
Yes.
Yes.
Shop
Very good,
here
very
or
good.
have it delivered
Yeah.
here.
So that could be huge. I mean, when I realized that this was now happening, my thought was, we don't have a Walmart in West Fork, but we can have the same effect. So anyway, that could be, I mean, that's kind of a big deal, could be a big deal, something I think we need to recognize. So number two, I think that, this body has talked before about tap fees, about impact fees, and we've never moved with that. We have our city attorney here who can give us some guidance, whether it's tonight or next month. But I definitely, I've been hesitant with impact fees. I won't deny that. I see the need for them. But I've been hesitant about it. I think they're great for cities that already have development happen, right? In a town like West Fork where we're looking for some development, I've been hesitant to implement impact fees. However, I do wonder, can we utilize impact fees for outside of the city limits and not inside the city limits? And the reason I say that, so the city of Greenland, they decided to do some annexing, right? But the city of West Fork owns, I will say owns, that's probably not the right term, Nick. The city of West Fork has the sewer between West Fork and Baptist Ford. If I was to guess, I would say there's what, 200 acres up there, 300 acres?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. So at 200 acres, that's 1,000 homes, 5 homes an acre, potential. That a developer would be putting in the infrastructure and tying into the city of West Fork sewer. So at 1,000 homes, at $125 a month, that's, if my math's right, that's about $1.5 million a year in revenues. Now, that's not gonna happen tomorrow, but I do wonder, should we consider an impact fee for the depletion of our system as those homes are built up there? Questions or thoughts on that?
Makes sense.
Tom?
Mayor, impact fees are they're complex, and one of the complexities about them, not just getting them in place, because you have to hire professionals, and they may, Nick's company may have them, but Bentonville hired them, out of Washington DC, to come and do studies as to what your system can do right now, what its capacity is, both the infrastructure and capacity. Of course, we don't have a capacity issue as far as treatment, right? We're limited, I guess, only by what Fayetteville will take and perhaps the width of the pipes and the pump capacity, but and also, the infrastructure itself, and impact fees can only be used to pay for new development. The idea was the bargain made between sort of the developing community and cities and counties and other people that serve utilities was, we'll give away tap fees. Basically, tap fees are now limited to what it costs to make the tap. So we used to build future growth into a tap fee, but that's no longer permitted. And we'll have these new fees, these impact fees. They're not really they're only 20 years old or so, but they can only be used for when you're growing. They can't be used for operation and maintenance. They can't be used, to fix things back behind you. So I think what you're talking about is the depletion of the system would be taking away capacity whatever we'd have to build to get up there. That like you said, the developer didn't build toward us. We could use a tap fee for, and it wouldn't just be necessarily for that. It could be anything that anywhere the system grows, that it has to grow because of development.
So you're saying that we can't have an outside of the city, so outside city limits, we can't have an increased tap fee as opposed to what we charge inside the city?
We could, because it's most likely that getting there and doing work out there is more expensive than it is getting work, right next to City Hall. And we could, that's rational to do it that way, and we can quantify that, we can set that. We don't have to be dollar for dollar exact, but just like rates, it's assumed that there is an increased cost in getting outside the limits.
Okay.
So they could be a little higher, but it wouldn't be, you would just be adding, zeros onto a tap fee.
Okay, very good.
We can't add zeros onto a fee, onto the rate itself.
Correct.
There is no limit as to what that can be. It's not wise to make it so that no one can pay for it.
Right.
The law only says that we can charge a higher rate outside limits.
I just think that it's rational for the city of West Fork to, if we're going to provide sewer to another city's residents, one, we want to be able to do that, but we also don't want to diminish the capacity to our own residents who have paid to put that system in.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that's something everybody's kind of on board with. We can move forward with that with some further discussions. Maybe Isaac can get us some ideas on what we currently charge for taps and what maybe we might want to think about. I don't think we need to get this in place by next month. I just think that we need to get this discussion rolling and maybe by the end of the year have something in place to protect us on that. We good with that? Okay. Any other thoughts on it before we move on? No? Okay. So next, mayor's comments. This is where I get long-winded, John.
Yes, we know.
So I had the pleasure of going to speak with the Golden Age Club at the First Baptist Church this week. Don, I didn't see you there.
It's because I'm not with the golden age.
So I had a really good time though. They've invited me before. This was their kickoff. I guess they only meet maybe in the fall and winter. I'm not sure what their schedule is, but I got to go speak with them. Don Clark invited me, and the invite was to come and speak about zoning ordinances and city growth. And of course, zoning ordinances are extremely boring. And I knew that we just ate lunch, and I was going to have some of this older generation conk out on me if I stuck to zoning ordinances. So we mixed in a little talk about zoning ordinances and had a lot of time for questions. But it got me to thinking. It's been some years ago. I read a book that was talking about the theory of time. And so as I was trying to decide how am I going to talk to this group about the city and what do they want to hear, that type of thing, I started thinking about this, and I want you guys to think about it and just think about it. This is just food for thought. It was fun for me to work through this before I put something together to go talk to them. But as individuals, we have seasons that we go through, right? And when we're young, we're very future oriented. The future holds all the possibilities. That's the only thing we're thinking about is our future. As we move into the season of life where maybe we have family, we're married, we have kids at home, we get very present oriented. We're thinking about the demands of the day. We're not thinking about the future as much. And then as we become empty nesters or we're retired, we become past oriented, and we want to reminisce about the old times, what happened in the past. So that kind of sets the stage for, have you ever thought about the movement of time in the respect that we typically think that time moves from the past to the future, or from the past to the present and on to the future? Right? Does everybody kind of agree with that? Mm-hmm. But have you ever thought about, is the future moving toward us, or are we moving toward it? And so, a theory that I'd read a long time ago, I had to go back and look it up because this had me thinking about it. But the theory is that for the most part, we move from past to present to future. And that's right for those things that have been planned prior. Right? So some of y'all have been on this council for a long time. You've made decisions, set plans in the past that are just now maybe coming to bear, and we're tweaking that potentially for the future. We're setting plans now in the future. We're just talked about sewer up at Baptist Ford, right? And so somebody else is probably going to be dealing with that. And so in that regard, we kind of get to control how soon we get there and what that looks like. So I feel like we're kind of moving toward that. But then there's things like COVID that for most of us, we probably never even realized. And so it was kind of out there moving at us, and we just got slapped in the face and had to deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, kind of a thought about the way time moves, and it's not something you think about every day, but on that same kind of thread, it's been said that past-oriented people who are focused on the past, are reactive, right? Things are coming at them, they haven't been considering, so they have to react to it. Present-oriented people are inactive. They're focused on today. There's no, right? Pre-active people, or pre-active thought, I guess, is trying to predict what the future is going to hold. And proactive would be seeking to create the future. Whereas the final option here is interactive, where we are preparing to engage with and work with the future as it comes to us, or as we go to it. Anyway.
Wow.
John?
Well, first,
Well, wait a minute.
hang on a minute.
Go
I got
ahead.
some- I got something.
Go
to say.
right ahead.
West Fest, news travels fast. You know, I announced this is my last year and everything. It travels fast because I've got several calls. And me and my wife prayed about it and everything, and we're not gonna give it up. We're gonna keep it.
Now, I ask, who is shocked by this? We're glad to have you, John.
But the city did go above and beyond this year. We lost quite a bit of our help, but the city stepped up and we appreciate it. We had more vendors than we ever have. We had a good kids area and it went, I believe, smoother than it has. So,
Fantastic.
it was awesome, and we need to talk about a handrail out here when we're done. I'll point it out. But other than that, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Yay.
Did we get a second?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
All those in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. We are adjourned.